Yeah, so we're gonna start with the finale, and it's a three-parter episode. It's a three-part series, so it's 3 episodes long, and they added an element to this that I wish that they had teased a little bit more throughout the series, and that was that transforming into Blazar is taking a serious physical toll on Geto's health.
Yeah. He's not doing well. He's tired. He's drained. Uh, he's going to the
So his
doctor, and they're like, "You're
muscles are
not well."
atrophying,
Yeah,
and his bones are they're losing their density, and well, as you see later on, he even seems to start having heart failure.
yeah,
So it gets really serious throughout this entire finale. So it really ups the stakes
yeah.
of the events of these 3 episodes
I've never
because
seen
every
anything like
transformation.
this before, too. I mean, I've seen hosts get injuries and hospitalized, but I've never seen like the actual transformation, like wearing on somebody like this. This was a bit different. I mean, like I said, I've seen the injuries before, but this was just like system failure is going on here for Gento, and it's not looking good. Uh, what's been going on is just all these kaiju that he's previously fought, the Delton dolls, uh, the Teganular, they're all just appearing around the world. They're just kind of just
Like routinely.
yeah, routine, yeah, like a lot. They're like, oh, we've dealt with 5 Delton dolls in the past uh, month, and there's 2 more now. So you're talking 7 Delton dolls in a month, which is a lot. I mean, we had 2 episodes about Delton dolls, and now we have a third episode with 7 of them apparently that 5 of them we missed out on. I mean, so that means he's fought 9 Delton dolls. Teganulars are appearing. Who else was in there? Was there anybody else that we're missing? Um,
Those are the main ones for
yeah,
this episode
yeah,
of native kaiju.
yeah. So they're like, we don't know what's going on. Then they detect something in space, a meteorite, and they scan it and they figure out that it's a kaiju is coming to Earth. And
Yeah, it's gonna be wave 3.
yeah, so they're like, yo, this is wave 3. Uh, basically, Earth Garon's getting like fitted for like its final upgrade. It's what is it going to be, the mod 4 now,
Yeah, mod 4.
which is pretty much
Which
all
is
the
gonna
upgrades.
enable space travel.
Yes, they're like, oh, we got to go fight this thing in space.
It's all the upgrades combined, plus it can go into space.
Yeah. So then there's a giant Teganular that rises in Nevada. There's one in Japan, and you know when the Teganulars, they go to the power plants, they absorb all the energy, and they shoot these big blasts. And they're like, oh, this is gonna be dangerous. Like, we don't need these meltdowns happening in Japan and Nevada and all over the world. But the team gets split up. Gento goes to Las Vegas. SKaRD is in Japan fighting there to Ganular. And they realize that these Teganulars are aiming at space now, and that all these native kaiju have been preparing and trying to defend the Earth from whatever this kaiju in space is that's coming. So they are about to kill. Well, Ultraman is all the way in Nevada, so he's not aware of any of this. So they have to kind of like get on the like speakers in Nevada as he's about to like throw the finisher on the Teganular, like the gigantic one that's really gonna give the big blast and be like, hey, he's not here to hurt Earth, he's trying to defend it. You gotta let him absorb that radioactive energy and shoot into space. And they do. SKaRD stands down, Ultraman stands down, they blast, they blow up the meteorite, and the kaiju jumps off the meteorite. Verilon is the kaiju, and he lands on the moon, and he survives. And now at this point, the defense force is like, SKaRD just literally let these kaiju absorb all this radioactive energy, just shoot off into space, doing God knows what. And now they're really like in trouble. Like now their commander really, he gets let go. He's done. Somebody needs to take the fall, and it's him. He's like, I'll take responsibility for it. He's like, it's my fault. That's when we cut back. Gento is like really hurt now. Like after that battle, like he should not have been doing that. And SKaRD's like, you gotta take it easy. You gotta rest. Emmy goes to the captain's house, and he kind of gives her father's book, right? What he ended up pulling the father's book out of the
So it doesn't
trash.
happen. So that's in the second episode.
Yeah.
So, what ends up happening is it ends on the old director reading the book, and they're like, "Oh, the Kaiju just landed on the moon." He throws the father's journal into a fiery garbage can, and that's the end of the episode. Going over to the second episode in this finale, basically they've noticed that there's been a stockpile. Yeah, Verilon's been stockpiling these rocks on the moon. They're not sure exactly what's going on, but they're like, what is he doing? It turns out they're not rocks. Verilon is producing these organic bombs, and it blows a giant crater in the moon. And what they figure out that Verilon's doing is the way that Verilon travels through space, because originally he was on a meteor, is that he blows up whatever planet or structure that he's on and uses that to fly to where he's going. So he's trying to change the orbit of the moon so that it will crash into the Earth.
Yeah.
That's its plan right now. So the scientists figure it out, and they go to SKaRD like, you guys need to get Mod 4 operational as soon as possible, and you guys need to go into space and defeat them. And it's like, basically they all know that this isn't going to be possible, so they know they're being sent on a suicide mission here. So Gento gives like a big like rah-rah speech, like, he's like, I'm not expecting anybody to do it, but like, this is like the fate of the Earth. Like, if we don't do it, there's nobody else. He's like, I understand if you guys don't want to come. Everybody steps up, of course. So he assigns, basically everyone's going to be going into Garon except for Emmy. What Emmy's going to be doing is she's going to be finding out a solution on Earth to this. She has to use her connections, gather information, and try to figure out what is going on and how to solve this.
Yeah. So like, he gives them this whole big 18-hour dismissal, like, hey, get your crap in order, say bye to your families. So, Henri goes on a jog that we saw in that episode with the Garamon. She does that route again. Yasunobu's hanging out with his washing machine. Teriyaki's calling his father to check in on him. And then Emmy, we see, is hanging out in Earth Garon, and she's kind of just, talking to Earth Garon and reading her father's journal. And
no, she doesn't have the journal yet.
Oh, she doesn't have the journal yet.
She gets that at the end.
Yeah. She
gets that mid last episode.
Yeah. And then Gento's...
she's talking with Earthy, and he kind of lets on that he knows about V99, which is the code name for Verilon.
Yeah. And the code name for the aliens, where Verilon's from. And she's like, all right, can you tell me about it? He's like, no. And he's like, it's classified. And she keeps kind of pressing him, and he kind of hints at things. So he he's like, I can't tell you anything, but then he just spits out like a USB drive. He's like, but here, take this, and it's like an encrypted drive. So she plugs it in, and she's trying to crack it to get some information on it. She does, but it's quickly found by government agents, taken into custody, and thrown in a cell. Gento.
And that's her end for episode 2.
Yeah.
And then on the team side, going to the moon, Gento says goodbye to his family, and it's kind of like really sad, because like you could tell he's just like the dude's dying, like it's literally tearing him apart, trying to transform into Ultraman, and he knows it, so he's trying to not transform into Ultraman,
and even
so he's legitimately trying to command
SKaRD. And even Blazar's like knocked him out too. One of the episodes, he's like, "No, you can't be doing anything. Just chill." Like Blazar, like legit, like makes him faint basically, and is like, "Nope, you're on the ground. Go to sleep." Because Blazar was like, "Nah, I ain't doing this." So yeah, they're off to space finally. And Blazar's like, "All right, we're gonna do it now. This is the time." They they head off to space, fight Verilon. The blast from a Verilon explosive would destroy Earth Garon too. They head to the planet, fight Verilon, and it does not go that great.
Yeah. Verilon kind of like stomps them because they don't know how to deal with the explosives because they don't want to set them off. So then they have to try doing hand-to-hand combat, which is not going to work well with Verilon because, again, the explosives, you kind of would want to keep your distance. So they get hit with an explosive, almost everybody gets knocked out.
And the moon starts to go off course.
Yeah. So Gento's like, all right, like I have to transform into Ultraman. And at the time, his, for lack of a better term, his power coin is just a blank stone. He can't even, like, it doesn't even have Blazar's face on it because Blazar's like, no, like you're not transforming into Blazar.
Yeah.
But after some reasoning, Blazar lets him transform. He henshins and he's immediately red lighting.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't even do anything. It immediately is red lighting.
Yeah.
So the fight is like maybe 20 seconds. It doesn't go well. Gento is in such bad shape. So Blazar actually detaches himself from his host and separates himself from Gento. Sends Gento back into Earth Garon and kind of sends Earth Garon back into like a safe distance where they can kind of like recover. And Blazar pushes the moon back into its proper orbit while tanking attacks from oh my god, I'm blanking on the name.
Verilon, yeah.
And that's kind of where the episode kind of ends off.
The explosives go off, and now Verilon's strapped to a piece of the moon, crashing to Earth. And then it just opens Verilon crashing to Earth next episode, just wreaking havoc, laying down its explosives, getting ready to just destroy the Earth. Emmy's still locked up. Verilon is just attacking Earth, just killing it. He's just like, it's not good. Gento's completely disoriented. The special units come to the team to kind of like just recover him. They did bring back Ultraman's body to Earth with them, with Earth Garon, because at this point, Ultraman's body didn't like kind of just warp and disappear into Gento because Gento's separated, so he's just kind of floating in space with lifeless eyes, no light. Gento kind of has like a heart-to-heart moment while he speaks to Ultraman. He's like, listen, I don't know if you could hear me. He's like, but this is our last chance to save the Earth. And Ultraman does awaken and kind of wakes up for one last hurrah. The previous Director, the chief, goes to SKaRD because all this is going down. He knows it didn't go good on the moon. He knows Emmy's locked up. He frees Emmy, and they head to the command center where the director
and he gives her
is.
the book.
Yeah, he gives her the book.
He gives her father's journal. One thing to mention is Blazar did talk.
Yes.
During the interaction with
no
Gento.
grunts.
He just said, "We got this."
Yeah, that's what he said. He's like, "We got this." Yeah. So
and
the imprisoned Emmy and the disavowed director chief head into the command center, and they're like, "You guys are both not supposed to be here. You need to be removed from the press." And she's like, "No." She's like, "I know the truth. Why all this is happening." We find out that years ago, when V-99 first came with Emmy's father, they attacked, and the V-99 were just there to observe, and they killed a ship of the V-99 aliens. And now at this point, besides Verilon being there, there's an entire invasion V-99 fleet heading to Earth. Basically, Earth Garon is now out there fighting. Ultraman's out there fighting. They're fighting the Verilon, and it's still not going good. You have V-99. They're about to just be like, all right, we're going to have to split up Earth Garon and Ultraman, and somebody's going to have to take out the Air Force coming in. And that's when Emmy's like, let's just try to talk to him. Let's just ask for peace. And
so it comes out that Earth Garon is actually based off of, like, mainly built on the technology of that shot down spacecraft.
Yeah.
That's where a lot of its advanced tech came from.
Yeah.
So it is able to communicate with the V-99 aliens. So it's translating what they're saying. And some of the interesting things is they did say, I can't forget if it was Planet of Light or Land of Light, but they said that once, and then they said a couple other things, and then they just kept repeating fear.
Yeah.
So essentially, they were actually afraid of going to Earth.
Yeah. So, I believe they responded with the term peace. Is that what they said? I forgot how they responded to, like, get them to be like, to stand down.
Oh, they said future.
Oh yeah, future. Yes, they're like, oh, think about your future. Yeah, it wasn't peace; it was future. Yeah. And Blazar, Garon both just completely disarmed. Earth Garon dropped all its mods, stopped fighting. Same thing with Blazar, dropped his sword, everything. And then they're like, all right, these guys are standing down. Earth is standing down. They were about to nuke. They were going to launch nukes into space. They disarmed all their nukes. And then when the V-99 saw that, they just warped out, and that was it. End of story. And it's...
And they left Verilon, though.
Yeah, yeah. It was kind of like a pretty abrupt ending, too. Like, it was like a little montage of like, oh, everybody's happy, we have a world of peace now, but it's kind of makes you want to have a little more after. I don't know how these Ultraman movies...
Like maybe something that's like an hour and a half long?
Yeah. So I don't know how these Ultraman movies work. I'm assuming it would kind of tie it up a little. I don't know if we're going to get that. I don't know if we have to wait for a Blu-ray set. Like, the Taiga set is coming out this week, or is that next week? I think it's very soon. End of July.
I know that they're going to have the exclusive at Comic-Con, so it's going to be this week or next week.
Yeah. What's the exclusive? What do you mean? There's an exclusive?
They just have a lenticular slipcover.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, I might have to...
Damn it, eBay. I did not know that was a thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the only, like, it's just one of those holographic slipcovers.
Alright, I'll think
Which I think you
about
get a regular slipcover with.
Alright.
But, yeah.
Alright. Alright, so, yeah, Taiga's dropping this week. By the time this is out, yeah. So be on the lookout for that. It's including the movies, and that's a pretty new Ultra series that we have not got to see here.
Yeah, it's decently new. Yeah.
Like we have previously said on our last show with our Kaiju Brooklyn experience when we sat in on the Ultraman Connection panel, they said Subarai's goal is to get every Ultraman series released physically globally. So we'll be on the lookout for more. Really glad to see Mill Creek's back in the game, or somebody at least is back in the game, releasing Ultraman physical media here. So really excited about that. And yeah, that was pretty much it for that episode. I thought, this was a great series. This is my first.
Oh, I think we're forgetting the best thing of this finale was that Gento was wearing this wristband that his son gave him
oh yes
10 episodes ago.
Yes, the Macaroni.
And that's actually what unlocked his Specium Ray.
Yes. How did we forget that? Yeah.
That was the big moment of the series, which again the fight after the aliens left was very quick.
Yeah.
But that was basically the because he let go of all of his other weapons.
Yeah.
All he had left was that wristband on.
Yeah.
And I let him do the Specium Ray, so that was a really cool ending. Because, I feel especially the same thing with Ultraman Rising, Super Raya, I feel is definitely putting in effort into trying to save that Specium Ray as a ultimate maneuver.
Yeah.
It's not just something that it's not just a move he does.
Yeah.
That's that's his big move.
Yeah, that's the ultimate.
So we got one Specium Ray this series. We got one Specium Ray in Ultraman Rising.
Well, he couldn't do it yet, too. He didn't have he wasn't fully committed to it yet until he ended in Rising. But yeah, they're making it a little special.
So yeah, two Ultraman series though.
You're right.
Where you needed family to unlock that.
Yeah.
I think that they're definitely trying to
do a Fast and Furious crossover.
Oh. Family.
Fair. I thought that's where you're going with this. No, I'm just kidding.
Can you imagine an American blockbuster Ultraman movie with Vin Diesel as Ultraman?
Flying an Ultraman Dodge Charger into space. Oh, God. But yeah, no.
Yeah, ridiculous.
As silly as we are. Yeah, it ends, Earth Garen's back at the base getting its repairs. Everyone's, happy ending. Like I said, my first modern Ultraman series here. I haven't watched any of them besides the Showa eras, and really dug it. The modern feels great. The throwbacks to Showa, love it. Definitely looking forward to watching some Arc. I don't know if we're going to review that here on the channel yet. We'll see. They're already
I don't know what we're doing with that.
With a couple episodes. We might just kind of watch that one and maybe...
Yeah, I think they're 3 episodes in.
Maybe we'll pick up the next series. I don't know. We might review that on the channel or just do it as a big solid, hey, overall review. But really cool series. First English dub stream series here. It's a pretty big deal. Blazar, it's pretty groundbreaking, followed by Rising, and now we have Arc is our second dubbed series that we're getting here. Dubs are huge. Whether you want subs or dubs are still a big thing. Be sure to subscribe to that Ultraman English channel now too. We gotta show that support. Subaraya has big plans for Ultraman, and they're really pushing. We got the trading cards coming out in October. There's even an app for the trading cards, I believe. I mean, it's going to be physical and digital, I believe. I already pre-ordered my trading card sets. I got the 2 starter sets along with pack of boosters. Not a ton of places to buy them just yet, but I kind of just reserved them just to make sure. I don't know how available those are going to be, but check with your local tabletop gaming stores or anywhere else that sells that stuff. But yeah, do you have any more thoughts on Blazar?
Yeah, no, this is the first modern series that I actually finished. I did watch a bit of Decker, but that's kind of when we started doing construction in the house and stuff, and I fell off. Yeah, really like this. This is my first completed Ultraman series. I've like watched bits and pieces of a bunch, but I've never actually finished the whole series. So it was good to kind of see like a full arc. Yeah, I mean, I guess you can count the anime, but
yeah, the anime. Yes, we did cover the anime here. This is your first full live action series. Yeah, no, it's nice to see it through. I'm always like, I'm trying to catch up with the Showa, but I'm like, I'll catch up one day. I'm gonna get there. I'll be up to date and I'll be on current, but it's practically impossible. So this was good. It's one off my list.
There's so
now.
Much stuff that gets released over there.
Yeah.
That we don't have here.
Yeah, there's still like little in between things that they had for the show that we didn't get here, but we're working towards that. The more they see these English subs watch, the more likely they're gonna be giving this to us. I'm really hoping there's going to be a panel at San Diego Comic-Con. By the time this comes out, that'll have already been done. But I'm really hoping they announce a sequel to Rising. That's my number one hope.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
And if they don't do it at there, they might do it at New York, because they've had a pretty... Or at Anime Expo. They seem to have a pretty decent presence at those other U.S. conventions. Yeah. It seems to be San Diego, New York, Anime Expo.
They've had a very large presence in the United States convention circuit the last couple of years, which is great. And I mean, like we have Ultraman merch that was just released here in the States, like not delayed, didn't need to get imported. Like, this is American released Ultraman merchandise. Like, who would have thought? I mean, we'd see the day. I mean, it's Bandai. It's not necessarily American, but you know what I mean. It's, you press a button and it speaks English voices. It's like, who would have thought? Who would have thought? Really excited to see Christopher Sean at Terrificon this summer, and Keon Young, who played Dr. Onda. I mean, we're seeing Ultraman guests at conventions. Like, who would have thought we would be here? But here we are. Here we are.
Yeah, no, it's an exciting time for Ultraman, and I definitely think that this might be my next series, Mebius. Yeah, just got really... EJ over at Ultraman Connection just really sold me on, like...
Yeah, he's like, that's the one to watch.
If you're going to start Ultraman,
that's the one to
start. Because I was thinking about doing the next. Like,
yes.
watching the next movie and then doing Ultraman next. But now I think I might just do this.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard that movie's fantastic. I have not watched it myself yet. And he also said the Superior Ultra 8 movie is a great movie. He's like, that's like your end game of the Showa era there.
Well, that wraps this up.
Oh, it does. Okay.
And that wraps up all the Showa lines, apparently.
So maybe that's what I'm going to do. Once I finish my Showa run, I'm going to watch Mebius and then watch that movie.
And then watch... Yeah.
So that'll probably be in like a year. I guess I still have half
probably like a year.
I still have half of Taro to go.
Yeah. We're going to get that Ultraman... it's still just looking good for... Because one thing we didn't mention in the news, which... Again, it's not really big news, but because there's already been a Blu-ray release of it, but Ultraman USA is getting a Mill Creek Blu-ray release, and it's gonna have a new dub on it. That's
really?
The big change.
Really?
It's a new English dub.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either, because it was people were kind of touting it as lost media, and I'm like, you could buy it on Play Asia for $40. It's not on Play Asia anymore, but you can still get it on CD Japan for $40. So I was like, this isn't lost media. This isn't, and I'm like, they did a new English dub.
I did not know
Which
that.
I'm kind of surprised at.
That's,
So yeah, it's just more Ultraman stuff that's going on. Very exciting, and yeah, I'm just a big fan of like the IP itself. It's just fun.
no, yeah, I mean, once I finish the show run, I kind of want to sprinkle in, go back. I'm hoping, they did mention that they're working on more dubs for the older series. If they release an English one, I would probably give it a rewatch. I kind of want to watch Ultra Q Color. You can't really get that, but I got it. I want to watch that.
Yeah.
And then if they do release English subs, I would probably go through the show era again. But definitely going to keep chugging through the timeline here. Can't wait for more. I've seen some of the stuff from Arc. Cannot wait. That shot that I saw from episode 3 where they have the news broadcast playing like on the side of a building on a billboard, and then Ultraman falls down in the fight, and then he breaks through the billboard that's playing in the fight. Like, that is just some insane
it's definitely cool.
I was like, that is like, I did not expect to see that coming. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys. We'll be back with another show soon. The schedules have just been absolutely nuts, so be on the lookout. We have, I'm telling you, I tried counting the videos that we have queued up the other day, between shorts and unboxings, comic reviews, and all other sorts of reviews, book reviews, figure reviews. We have like a lot of videos in the tank here for this channel, so there won't be any loss of content here. So you can come back pretty much almost every day to find something for a while. So don't worry, we're here still. We're trying to reach out to everybody on social media. We have a couple of guests that want to come on. It's just working out the schedules here. We have some cool stuff down the pipe. So be on the lookout.
Yeah. And just like thank you guys for watching. And we'll see you guys for episode 30 next.
Yeah, it's a big one.